Taraba State government has announced it has not yet received the 20 trucks of rice promised by the federal government to each state. State Commissioner for Information and Reorientation Barrister Zainab Osman Jalingo told ATN over the weekend that the state is still awaiting the promised food items. She added that the Commissioner for Special Duties, Xavier Noko, has not received any communication from the federal government regarding the dispatch of the rice. Jalingo stated, as far as Taraba State is concerned, we have not received the 20 trucks of rice. The only rice distributed to the youths who protested due to hunger was purchased by the state government through ALGON and was already in stores before the governor ordered it to share. Okay, this is not the first state that has actually talked about the distribution of rice. You remember that a particular governor came out. This is about the second governor that has come to say that the rice that was sent by our president, that's from federal government, they have not gotten it. And one will wonder why that is possible, because of course the report had was that bags of rice were actually signed out. 20 trucks of rice for each state was signed out, and the receipt was there. There was someone signing and before pushing it out. So who signed the rice? It has to be someone, a representative from the state. And arriving the state, someone definitely have to sign to collect. But the federal government said that all the local governments, all the states, 36 states have collected, but 2 governors has come out to say they have not gotten it yet, and Taraba State is included. What do you think about that? And for your information, this was to alleviate the economic hardship in the country. That was even before the protests.
You know that it goes to show that we are not getting it right in this country. You know, when you spend money to purchase this food item, bags of rice, you know, going up to 20 trucks, you know, and you can't really account for it, it shows that there's a fundamental problem. For those who, you know, need to be informed, each truck can carry at least 1,200 bags of 25 kg, you know, bags of rice. Each truck, and you've pushed out 20 to a particular state. That is, you know, you've spent so much on this thing and it has not gotten to the end users. It's a problem, you know, and we need to probe into some of these things. We shouldn't just sweep it under the carpet, because like you rightly stated, some persons have to sign it out and some persons are responsible to sign it in, you know, sign in that you've collected. And if the state government has come up to say that, you know, my aide in charge of, you know, special duties have not received this, it's a big problem. It's a big problem. You know, we now need to trace who has diverted this. It goes to, you know, to tell us so much about when dealing with the public, when the federal government is dealing with the public as a result with as it results to students' loan. You know, you come out to say you've given loan to students, you've given palliative to market women, you've given fertilizers to farmers, and at the end of it, the persons that are supposed to get these things are not getting it. Then there is a problem. Money has been released for these things to be purchased. You have even paid logistics to deliver them. And yet, to date, people are still coming out boldly to tell you that we have not received. You haven't given us. Do you mean that if the Taraba State government have received 20 trucks of rice, they will tell you they have not received? You didn't give them, it's not money. 20 trucks of rice. If they have received it, they can't boldly come out to say we have not received. That's to show that the channel in which we were supposed to distribute this thing is faulty. Go back, check it, who is to be questioned, and ensure that you deal with such persons. Because this is taxpayers' money, for crying out loud. And, you know, we are just letting things slide in this country. Today they will tell you that Python has swallowed money. They will tell you that this monkey ran away with such amount of billions of naira. And the country is wallowing in penury. We are complaining that the cost of governance is high and all of such. And look at things that are just going, you know, left, right, and here and there, without we properly accounting for it. The government need to account for all of these things. Both the Taraba state government and the federal government, they need to come out clear with all of these things. And, we shouldn't just allow this to go aside like that. We need to see what we can do about it.
But don't you think that this would have been actually very easy to trace? Because like we said that there was a representative there that signed out these items. And then the name of the driver is there. The truck vehicle is also there. And then we have security who accompanied this, except there was none. So do you think that is supposed to be a problem? Because I remember you talked about a channel, that the channel might be faulty. So what about these people? What about these middlemen?
The fact is that probably they contracted a logistic company to convey these things to the different states.
And that would have even made it more easier.
Yes, more easier to trace. All of these documents should. Well, the problem we are having in this country is that after hearing news like this, we end up not following up to know how far it has gone. If at all, the thing was diverted on the way. If at all it even left the store from the federal government and got to, if at all they even received it and where they packed it. If the person that was supposed to receive it, person that was supposed to receive in Taraba State actually received it and where the person kept it. These are questions that needs to be asked. These are things we need to start looking at in this country. These companies, who you gave it to, who distributed it, all of these persons have to come out and start answering these questions. Because it's a very simple thing. It's not rocket science to do. It's a very simple thing. Who did you give it to? I gave it to this person. Okay, who did you give it to? If you agree with me that, okay, it left my hand and you collected it, have you agreed to that point? Yes. Okay, where did you send it to? Is it to Taraba State? Yes. Who received it there? You point the person. This is a very simple thing. It's not what we need to, start praying and fasting for God to reveal to us. No. It's a very simple matter, but our government lack the will to do all of these things. And I bet you that this matter may not come up again because this is the end of it. This is probably the end of it.
Okay, so in a situation that about 34 states have received their own products, because so far from 34 states, no other governor has complained except from these 2 states that we are talking about. Do you think that it could be a mistake, or maybe, of course, we have been hearing about looting, that something of such could happen, and if it has happened, don't you think that the governors in question are actually at fault because they are supposed to put measures to make sure that this thing gets to them? Just like calling you to let you know that I have sent out your way bill. It is your duty to call the driver to make sure that the thing has gotten to your destination. So did you think that they did not do enough to make sure that this gets to their states?
You have rightly said something now. The Taraba state government itself cannot be excluded from her own share of the blame. The truth here is that if at all the federal government has released this and several other states have received theirs, then, they need to do some questioning within them there, who actually received this as a representative representing Taraba on our behalf, who received these trucks of rice. And such persons should now come out to, tell us where they have kept it over time and if at all they have used it judiciously. Because this matter is very, very appalling, very, very appalling, because it was taxpayers' money that was used in purchasing these bags of rice. And the Taraba state government cannot just come out to make these claims and not properly, defend themselves. They should be ready to defend themselves, stating clearly that they have not received it,
which is what they have done.
Yes, like you have mentioned, you called to say that you have sent a way bill to me, but in this case now, the delivery person is from you. You are the one sending the delivery person. You have paid for the logistics. Mine is just to acknowledge that I have received and receive it, in person. but I shouldn't be bothered about how it will be transported to me, unless, you know, the agreement between the state governors and the federal government is that you come to carry from our store or our warehouse.
Okay, but now look at it.
Yes.
These items that were sent, it wasn't yesterday.
Yes.
Neither was it last week.
Okay.
All right. So if you have gotten the information that some items has been sent to your state for the citizens to alleviate the economic hardship,
yes,
and you've waited for over 2 weeks and nothing has been done, because with what we saw here, we didn't see where the governor said, we put a call through and this is what they said. We did not see where the Minister of Information said, this Commissioner for Information said, this is what they said. They only said they are still waiting to get the bag of rice. But aside that, do you think that these 20 trucks of rice is enough to actually alleviate this economic hardship on the people?
You know, first, answering the first question, I would like to say that you know, the government of Taraba State, like every other state government in Nigeria, actually don't feel too concerned about things like this, because, you know, it's not directly going into their pockets. If the federal government has said, we are sending you so billion of naira for you to purchase these bags of rice to distribute, they will press for that money to come, because it is going to get to them directly.
Oh, okay.
But because this is already purchased bags of rice, and what you are just to do is to distribute to some persons here and there, how many can you carry to your house? Oh. You know, so they wouldn't be so enthusiastic about it, so whether it comes or not. You know, they just feel relaxed.
So you think this is...
That is the case here. That is the case here. That is the case here. It's because it's not cash. If it were to be cash or something they are interested in, you know, these persons don't, their problem is not this rice like you and I, you know. Their problem is the money. How many, even no matter the billions, they have where to store it. You understand? So that is the case here. So about the 20 trucks itself and how far it can go to alleviate the poverty level in the states, you know, the truth is that I believe that the federal government did not roll out these trucks to ensure they end hunger in the land. It's just to see how to contribute their own, you know, little to seeing how to ensure that, you know, if people were not eating at all 3 times or no time in a day, you know, they can at least eat once in a day or once in 2 days, while the state government do their own bit and the local government also do their own bit, and you know, family members, friends, and all of such see how to, you know, help one another. And you know, that is just it, because you know, when it comes to things like this, I believe that this money should be, you know, channeled into doing better things than just purchasing bags of rice like this, empowering some few persons, and at the end, you know, just like we have seen it now, it wouldn't even get to the hand of those that actually need it. Because if it's got to Taraba State himself, what are the modalities on ground to actually distribute this to those that really, really need it?
Well, the same way other states did, they will actually get they'll actually get ideas from there. All right, then let's look at the next story for today.